Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pre-market live show. Today is Wednesday, January 21st. The market's a little mixed, more red than anything, but we'll go through that. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How is everybody this morning? Good old Wednesday morning, short week here after Monday was closed. There's your heat map. And the video was just green. It literally just went and changed to being flat right there. So it's up a little bit. It was just a green spot there. And now it's down. SPY is down a little bit more, and the Qs, if I type it in there, are down a little bit as well, and they look like they're dipping down some. So it does look like the market's going to be dipping down right there. UAMY, that's up a little bit right there. Keep an eye on that bad boy. That's looking pretty good. USAR, that's still looking pretty good. Look at that. So there you go with your two I was talking about last night right before the old in the Discord. So they should look pretty decent today. We'll keep an eye on them. And let's see what's going on with our big ones right here. And there's still no Jolie's jumpers, although I don't even think I was on X, but I don't think, let me see. Maybe I was. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, if I was on there this morning or not. But let me see. I still don't see any Jolie's jumpers. So I hope Asian Jolie is okay and everything's fine with her. But here we go. Let's rock and roll. We'll see what's going on. Here's that SLGB Smart Logistics running up there today. And there we were looking at that MULAC not long ago. Look at that. The last few days been running up. MLEC and Boxel was running up there, and BNAI had brand engagement one, and Goro right there was spiking up this morning. And what about AVR? Took a little spike up there, so a couple to keep an eye on right there that were spiking up this morning. And let's go ahead, look at our SPY Mag 7 big caps. All them guys, like we were saying, they're down right there. The Qs are down as well, and your IWM is down as well. So like I said, that one looked better than any of them, but that one's even pulling back right there. And then your Apple's down a little bit more right there. That's dipping down. Amazon right here, that's pulling back. And let's see what Google is doing right now, because that is pulling back right now. And Meta right here is also pulling back. It's kind of sitting in a little trend on a little support right here, as you can see, around $600, and it is in a little in a little channel right there. So yeah, it's not too bad. And obviously we have the earnings coming up next week, and that'll be pretty interesting for a lot of these Mag 7 ones. Markets are muted this morning, waiting for the next tariff news development. I agree. It is nothing. There's not a whole lot happening here this morning. And Microsoft right here is down, besides the market pulling back a little bit. And the video we were saying earlier, it was up a little bit, and that's even looking like it wants to pull back some right there. So nothing really jumping out. Tesla up a little bit, and that even looks like it wants to jump down a little bit as well. MU, is that showing some strength? There you go, MU. That's a monster right there. That's for sure. So definitely want to always keep an eye on them dips right now, especially this year. AMC just kind of hanging out. GameStop setting up right here. It's jumped up. Remember, we were talking about it last night. And there you go. Look at ARM. That was looking pretty strong. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. ARM is looking strong, so you can keep an eye on that one. And that doesn't look too bad. And let's see what Unity's up to. And also our Chewy right here. That one, Unity's down. Chewy's up a hair. Nothing crazy. What's Coca-Cola and Pepsi doing? They're just hanging out after they jumped up yesterday right there. And let's see what Netflix. That's way down. That's down to $81. So that'll be opening up in the basement down there this morning. That got into the dungeon there, guys. So I would say Netflix entered the dungeon. And there you go. Dun, dun, dun. They should make a Netflix special about that. Netflix entering the dungeon. Anyway, AVGO right here. That one's pulling back. I think you might come back down to that 325 area and then get a nice bounce. So you do see the markets dipping a little bit. So play them accordingly, and we'll play them down right now because that's where they're heading. And let's see what AVGO MU we were saying. That actually looks pretty strong. That's probably the strongest one. TSM up a little bit after yesterday's dip, but I don't know that if that one's really going to bounce back up. I'd have to look at it today to see. SMCI right here is just kind of hanging out, and another one looks like it could be pulling back. Maybe it's making a level two setup again. It was looking really good. I caught that candle right there. That was a nice catch on Friday. So that's why I was locking in profits, guys. You never know. I've learned you never know what the market has in store for you the next day. Anything can happen at any moment. So just always remember that. AMD right here. That one is up $1. That's not looking too bad there, Cadence. How are you this morning? And let's see what QCOM is doing right here. QCOM just kind of hanging out. That's dipping down. Snow is coming down as well. And that looks like it could come down a little bit more. So I do think the market is pulling back a little bit right here. So we'll have to catch all these great opportunities. That's for sure. Because that's exactly what this is. They're called great opportunities. Here's Intel. Is there earnings today? It's been looking really good. Their earnings are tomorrow for Intel. Obviously, be careful. It's getting into the top right there, but it's been running pretty well. Dell took a nice dip yesterday, and that's down there. So everything dipping down. Could dip a little bit more. IBM was dipping down as well. That one was trying to run before, and then it got smacked down yesterday. Palantir also taking a nice dip. Sophie right here is up a little bit, but that one looks like it could pull back a little bit more. And then your Mara Riot and all these guys just kind of hanging out. Crypto not looking so bad this morning. We'll look at it real quick. There's Clean Spark down a little bit, but again, I told you how to kind of play these. You can play them the days that crypto is ripping, and that's about it. And then if you wanted to go really long on them, Hood right here. Let's see what's going on. It's down in Coinbase also. And of course, Bull is up a little bit right there. Let's see if Bull can ever get moving right here. It's been a disaster lately. It hasn't been bullish. Let's put it that way. Space is still down. That is trying to get set up because Boeing that was running up yesterday, that's just kind of hanging out. It's still in the top. I wouldn't chase it up here, but space may be a good one trying to get set up right there. DJT up a little bit. I'm still amazed this thing's still moving, but they did have that big merger. Nike up a penny. Nothing too crazy right there. McDonald's was taking that big dip. It's trying to hold itself up a little bit. Disney still dipping down, and it does look like it could fall down a little bit more. We'll see if it can hold itself up right there. It's at some critical spots, as you can see. It's sitting on the 50, so we'll see if it can bounce off or if it's going to pull back even lower. And Oxy right here is up a little bit. ExxonMobil, not looking too bad. DXYZ. Yeah, look at ExxonMobil. That looks really good to try to run up a little bit more. DXYZ just kind of hanging out there. Boyle was up big yesterday. It's up big again. Look at that bad boy just running. That's your natural gas UNG right there. That's up a little bit, as you can see, so you can keep an eye on them. Gold right here, GLD, that's spiked up. Oh, man, look at that bad boy. That looks beautiful right there. That's up pretty nice. And silver right there is up a little bit, but gold looking really good. Wow. That looks like it could continue its way up right there for gold. It's looking pretty nice, I must say. Let's go ahead and look at our crypto prices. Bitcoin back at 88. It was last night. It was teetering at 89 as we were hopping off the show. And there you go. It's pulling back and it's down there. I don't know. It could come down a little bit more. I think yesterday's dip down could be that bottom for this pullback, and it was a good little pullback right there. Ethereum as well, you can see. So I'll keep an eye on it today, see what's going on. I think they changed the order right here. BNB, then Ripple, then Solana. I don't know if it was like that before. I have to ask them. But anyway, but the futures are live and awesome. So I have to, I meant to tweet that last night. I totally forgot. I'll have to do that tonight and tweet that out to Finviz because that is great. And Ripple right here is pulling back. They all have that same look, but here's Solana, and Solana is also just kind of pulling back. They all have the exact same look right there. Yeah, they definitely changed it around. What the heck did they add? Bitcoin Stellars over here. Optimism used to be over there. I don't even see it. Where OP go? I think they took Optimism off. H bars right there. They added that. That wasn't on there before. Sheeb's on there now. And TON, there's that tonics, right? That's tone right there, TON. So there you go. They added that. DOT. And what's this one? Uni right here, UNI. So they added a bunch. There's that Teo. I know what this one is. So they added a bunch that are different USD ones right here, all across the bottom. Well, they're all USD, but I mean like just different crypto coins that are like like almost like a Bitcoin kind of setup. So like Teo right here. That's the one that the guy the that prop firm, why can't I think of the name of it? Holy cow. We interviewed him. Why can't I think of it? Whatever it's called, I'll think of it in a minute. It's not coming to me. But anyway, that's what they pay in right here, Tau, right? And so I'm familiar with that one, AAVE. So yeah, they added some different ones. They took optimism off there though, no OP. I don't see it. Cardano, they changed the order up a little bit. So there you go. It's your crypto, and Finviz changing things around. I have to talk to him about that and add him a couple more. I'm at a couple good ones on there so that it balances us out. I don't like how it has 4 down here. I'm too OCD. We need to have that all nice and even so I can tell exactly where everything is. Anyway, I'll talk to them. And but yeah, they did add some different SUI wasn't on there before. I'm familiar with all of them honestly, but yeah, they did put a couple different ones on there. So there you go. And let's see what else is going on. So that's our crypto right there. It threw me off because I saw it last night and I thought Solana was in a different spot, but I wasn't really paying attention. And now I'm looking at it, and they definitely ICP. I'm familiar with this one as well. That's the insane clown posse's token right there. No, I'm just kidding, but I am familiar with that one. But there you go with your crypto, and they did add some different ones right there. So I'll there you are. We'll keep an eye on some of them. And I guess our optimism's no longer there. UAMY up a little bit. Looks pretty good this morning right there. And again, your what is that other one? USAR. I couldn't think of it, but that's up at whoa, look at that bad boy. There you go. That had that look, and I'm telling you, UAMY has that look too. I got options on this. I got options on UAMY. So I should be good. Should cancel out Netflix right there, to be completely honest with you. So Netflix, and maybe Netflix will try to bounce. I highly doubt it, though. It doesn't look like it's in bounce mode right now. Let's put it that way. It looks like it's in dip mode into the dungeon. Yeah, I have to. Should I make a promo about Netflix entering the dungeon? I should do that. That would be pretty funny. Because it definitely is right there. Entering the dungeon for Netflix. And here we go. Let's cruise right through. See what you guys want to see. We did our whole list and all that good stuff. CELH right here. That's down a little bit this morning. That's run up pretty big. I'd be careful with that one. And let me see, what was our VIX at right there. VIX is at $20. And it is just kind of pulling back a little bit. Doesn't look too crazy. I'm not going to lie. Looks like yesterday probably spiked out. You could tell when it usually spikes out, tops out right there. Maybe you get a nice red candle up today and it spikes up. I don't think it's going to get into the top. Maybe it does right there. You get that one spike and then you come back down. But generally, it looks like it's going to be pulling back right there for your VIX. So that is that one. And UVXY right here is down a little bit this morning. That doesn't look too bad, though. Again, that looks almost like a dip and rip kind of look. So obviously that could go up a little bit right there. And let's go ahead and see what's going on here. ARM right there, strong. Disney was slipping. OKLI. What is that one, Luis Rodriguez? Let's see what OKLI is. What is that? OK. I didn't even know what it was, but I don't see it coming up. Let me see if I see it over here. Is that a typo, Luis Rodriguez? I think that might be. What were you trying to type in? OKLI. Let me think. I'm not even sure what that was supposed to be. So OKLO. Okay. Well, if I look down one, Oklo, why couldn't I think OK should definitely ring a bell for Oklo. And Oklo, there you go. Nuclear. I knew Nuclear was trying to set up. We were looking at it, obviously. Progressive G asked about this one last night, and it was pulling back. And like I said, this one could. Oklo is looking pretty good. We'll have to see how this one looks this morning. SMR not looking bad either. I think Oklo looks pretty good there. Progressive G. So definitely we'll be keeping an eye on that one. That one's getting set up. Look at that 20 and 50 meeting up and crawling off the MACD. We had the resistance right there at 106, but that could be a good run up. So there you go at Oklo. Keep an eye on Nuclear right there. I'll be watching that. And JNUG and gold. Holy cow, they went absolutely berserk right here. Look at that thing. Wow, look at that. Looks like it wants to continue up, to be completely honest with you. And GLD right there running like a monster. Looks like it wants to continue its way up there as well. So they don't look like they're stopping, that's for sure. We should have played gold and not Netflix, huh? I would say that would have been a better call. But anyway, Netflix is down this morning, that's for sure. And I don't think it's going to be in bounce mode, like I said. And Boyle, yeah, that's going nutty right there. That one's steaming up, that's for sure. Look at that thing. That's a rolling boil right now, getting up to the 50, and that is your natural gas. And obviously, we are having a big cold front coming through, and it is freezing outside. I'm telling you, the East Coast everywhere it is cold, a lot of snow coming, all kinds of crazy weather. So I could see natural gas will be pretty hot commodity right now. And ALB right here, Albemarle or whatever, that special chemicals one, that is trying to run up. That's in a bullish trend right there. That's for sure. So that is not looking bad. ASPI up a little bit this morning. That 20 and 50 are trying to meet, but they just don't look perfect yet. REMX, this one, that ETF continuing to run up. Looks like it's going to roll off and run up some more. And what is that? IMTE, that was running up big yesterday. It did pull back this morning. And the Pineapple Financial, I'm familiar with PAPL. We've looked at this plenty of times. The good old Pineapple, it spiked up big this morning, but also pulled back. ADTX is it Addicts or whatever. Whoa, that one's coming out of the basement right there. That one's actually looking pretty decent the last few days. I don't know if I chase it right there. I think it had its run up, but it was running up there for ADTX and SLGB right here. Smart Logistics Global. That doesn't look bad. That one could continue to run. And we saw that this morning when we saw it right there, SLGB. So there you go with that. That's a good popper, and that could continue to run up there. CELH, like I said, a little bit of pullback this morning. Nothing too crazy right there. So we'll see what's happening with that. And then obviously that UAMY not looking bad. It's up 1%. It looks like it's like a little bit flat right here, to be honest with you. But this one could get cruising. So keep your eyes on that one. USAR, that's actually running right there. And let's see. OSS right here, Central Florida Gardening. That's at One Stop Systems. That does look like it's about to roll into the top even higher. There you go. Probably get stopped out again at that 1234. I don't know if it'll get through it again, but Central Florida Gardening, that does look like a good one. And ONDS was looking good yesterday. And there you go. That one's spiking up. That looks like it's going to roll off the old MACD right there and roll up. So keep an eye on ONDS. It is probably the coldest winter in years, guys. December was cold. January is definitely cold, obviously. Toyota Motor is warming up right here. It got a little cold with the cold streak. It was running up into its all-time highs, I think. Maybe. I don't even know. But it was running up in its highs recently. And then it got a little cold, and now you have to start that motor back up there, Luis Rodriguez. Warm your car up so that your Toyota motor can run back up. A little healthy pullback, but setting up well, and you're not kidding. So watch for any more pullback right there, and that's what they look like this morning right here. And let's see what else is going on with our market. A little bit flat, a little down, and nothing real crazy, that's for sure. Let's look at our news story. Stock market today. Gold extends gains. Dow futures edge lower after sell-off, falling apart in real time. Former star Fidelity manager warns on OpenAI, tells investors to shelter in these assets. Okay. And stock futures are a little changed after S&P 500 and Dow notch worst day since October. Curve your enthusiasm instead of curb, I guess. I don't know. And Bassett downplays bazooka threat as Trump arrives in Davos. So there you go, everybody. And how are you, Ross? Light Bridge or Light Path? That one's Light Path, LPTH, right? LPTH, Light Path right here. And that is looking pretty strong. Yeah, that's looking really good right there, Ross. I would say LPTH, we should be watching that today. That could run up there. And 7,000 gold is not unrealistic. I mean, this thing is just ripping along, guys. Look at this thing. It is not stop. I think you get all the way up here right now. So I think you have a lot more room you could possibly run on gold. It is cruising there, so just keep an eye, watch for any dips or pullbacks at the beginning of the day, but it could continue up right there. So there you go with gold, and that is looking really good. So that's our news stories. that's our crypto look right there. Again, Bitcoin pulling back. It was teetering around 89,000 last night, so it is down a little bit right there. There's a Trump lecture at 2:30 in that Davos, Switzerland. We were talking about it last night. I asked who Davos was, and it's a town in Switzerland. I had no idea, but anyway, there you go. And that's why you watch the show. You find out all this interesting news and everything going on in the world and the stock market and everything else with crypto. We keep you up to date with everything. We go through every single thing, penny stocks and all. Speaking of which, what's that Mimi doing this morning right here? It's just a little flat. It didn't look like it was moving on the on my watch list there, but it is just kind of sitting there this morning. So keep an eye on that. I'm surprised because usually these penny stocks move in the morning, but it is just kind of hanging out, but looking pretty good right there. So definitely keep an eye on that one. And what else was there? INHD. This one was looking pretty good too. And that one's just sitting there. So that one's trying to get out of the basement. Remember, Wheeler had a reverse split. That is up right there and looking pretty good. Keep an eye on that WHLR right there. That's looking pretty good as well. And that FMFC right here, that was looking pretty decent. And that's up this morning. So you can keep an eye on that. That could continue to run up there. So there you go, guys. That's what we have in store for today. And we'll probably be all over that Trump lecture, or at least be keeping an eye on it to see, he could be talking forever right there at 2:30. So sometimes you can't even put on a Trump lecture unless you're going to sit there for a couple hours because he can just talk. But he is doing a lecture at Davos, Switzerland. So I don't know how long he'll be able to talk for because there's a bunch of people there. So I guess everybody kind of has to talk. Maybe they have a time frame or something that they can talk to how long. There's Rocket Mortgage right there. Zach hitting the MACD did pull back right there. And we were talking about that one. And let's see, UNH, is that one trying to run up this morning? No, that one's down this morning. RGTI is up a little bit. That one's trying to get set up right there. And that wolf right here is looking like it wants to get set up. Intel did run up a little bit more. It was looking pretty good. They do have earnings on there. What did we say their earnings are tomorrow? The 22nd. Yeah, that is tomorrow right there. So there you go, everybody. And you can catch and we watch it tonight on the replay. Oh, yeah, we could check it out. If it's not real long, I'll put it on in the background or something. If it's not too long, if it drags on, we can find a highlight reel. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely do that. Luis Rodriguez, you know that. And so there you are, everybody. And that's what our market looks like this morning. Not a whole lot of excitement, I can say that. But we'll be keeping an eye on things. And obviously, I'll be on in the Discord around 9:15 with Rhett. Ben's on vacation. I don't know if laptop travel, he must be sleeping in this morning. I don't blame him. He's always up. And so he probably will be joining us in the morning as well. And we're doing the Benzinga show today. So I'll be hopping on there as well. So there you go, everybody. Lots of shows and podcast times. So, and then we'll be watching this crazy market, that's for sure, and seeing what's going on with our Mag 7 and our SKUs and our SPY. They look like they want to pull back. So obviously keep an eye on these USAR right here. Gave you guys that one. And UAMY. If I spelled UAMY right, that would help. And that one's up just 10 cents. It's just kind of hanging out this morning. Needs a little volume. It doesn't look like much has happened in 81,000, but could get cruising right there. So there you go, everybody. So make sure you trade smart and lock in those profits. That's for sure. Luis Rodriguez, you have a great day. And Ross, I'll see you in the Discord. Cadence, have a great day. Doge Mama 9, Laptop Travel, everybody else. We're all thinking about Asian Jolie. Hopefully everything's okay with Asian Jolie and Joseph Levy. And then Robin, drive safe to work and have a good day there. And everybody else that's listening to the show, tuning in, watching the replays and all that good stuff, I greatly appreciate it. Be sure to follow along on YouTube, X, Instagram, and like the show on your way out of here. And greatly appreciate you tuning in. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. Enjoy your day, everybody. Be sure to trade smart, lock in those profits. Goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day.